Right.
around here, all the way.
Sorry, you hear something?
Yeah, no, it's a mad something just in this.
Right, it's the 21st of April 2016. We're in the forest, just to confirm. So we're in the forest. And I've got another colleague here who hasn't been out as much with me and my other colleague, but he's been here a few times to take a more of a closer interest in what's going on here. And I think it's just going to give you a quick breakdown of some of the stuff he's seen. And do you think that there's something odd going on here that is not normal, out of the ordinary?
Yeah, well, there's definitely something going on that's out of the ordinary. I mean, for me, the first big indicator of something being kind of slightly odd was finding the ground sticks way back, was at the start of last summer, I guess.
Yeah.
And finding those kind of finding those on intersecting game trails, which just struck me as, you know, being the kind of thing that I'd do if I wanted to, you know, be out in an area trying to always know where, you know, like the next meal's going to come from. I'd want a little visual reminder of where the game trails were. So I mean that for me was certainly something that, yeah, certainly did open my eyes. But for me, it's not so much been me kind of, you know, witnessing anything in particular. Just there's this overriding feeling that something's not quite of the norm here, and I've felt it every time I've been out, and it's.
This is only the second night you've been out, isn't it? Second nighttime investigation.
Yeah. I mean, it's worth saying. I'm a country lad, born and bred. I've spent many years where I'd be out at least an hour a night shooting rats and rabbits. I walk my dog through the middle of the woods at night. I'm one of those odd folks that likes to be out in the darkness, and there is something about this particular area of forest that I can't quite put my finger on, and it's sufficient for me to travel, take time out of a busy life, you know, to want to come and try and put my finger on it a bit further. But, you know, it's not for me to say anything particularly is or isn't, but one thing I can say for certain, that something's just not quite of the norm here, and that might end up being something, you know, like there may be, perhaps there's some geological trait that sort of garners a slightly higher ambient level of, you know, kind of natural electricity. Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. It's,
yep.
I can't.
It's not quartz rich around here.
Yeah, no, I can't put my finger on it. Something's not quite of the norm here.
Do you think I'm making this up?
Oh, dude, I'd have told you if I thought you were stringing yourself along.
Exactly. You
I mean,
you don't mince your words. This is the skeptic.
Yeah,
the absolute skeptic. But it is. He's seen enough and witnessed enough to want to inquire more. But this is only a second nighttime investigation, and that's when we do get the action.
Yeah.
And tonight, what have you experienced that you can't quite put your finger on?
Well, yeah, there's been an odd light source that was there and gone. It seemed to be slightly more up in the canopy of the, well, no, not even up in the canopy, sort of midway up some of these sort of conifers. It didn't seem to stem from a source like a torch. It was there and then it was gone. It wasn't.
And we're talking how far away?
I'm gonna give it. I mean, because I'm gonna give it about 100 meters,
right.
roughly. but obviously it's very difficult to say when you're dealing with
in the dark. There's nothing to gauge it. But it's not the only light anomaly we've seen tonight. We've seen
there's been a couple more witnessed.
Two more witnessed, and they were stemming from the Goldilocks zone. Now, you've been to the outskirts of the Goldilocks zone, haven't you?
Yes.
And you've seen a few things that are not
of the norm.
Not of the norm.
No.
I mean, tree arches. You get tree arches that can form naturally. And we've seen them in different parts of the wood here. Some of them just don't look natural, do they?
Yeah, no. There's definitely some that don't appear to have been sort of formed by nature, if you like. But it's difficult in an area of woodland that is frequented by people. We can't absolutely.
You can't.
We can't write off the fact that there's a very good chance that it could have been made by someone, kids playing, but
with everything else going on.
When you put everything else together, I mean, put it this way: if I strongly feel that with some of the sort of things gathered at this area, the ground sticks, experiences at night with you guys.
Tree arches, the lights flashing. We've experienced, because we've come back. Me and my other friend have come back here pretty much every week last summer through into autumn. So we've had a lot of flat nights, and tonight's been flat apart from the light anomalies. But we have had in the past, we've had a lot of activity that just defies logic. So is it possible that we have a Sasquatch type being here in this wood?
I wouldn't put my mortgage money on it, but that's just me. Now, the reason for saying that is, being on the tiny island that we are, it just doesn't, logically, it doesn't stand up. However, this is where I'm going to kind of come over as being so far out there.
I think we've reached that point now.
Yeah, well, there's a lot of things that are in the world that we don't perceive, that we can't see. That doesn't mean they're not there, and that doesn't mean that they don't have some form of influence on our existence. UV rays is a good example of one.
Yeah.
Now, just because we can't see something doesn't mean it's not there. And not being able to see something doesn't mean it's behind a wall or behind some trees and you can't see it. There's numerous light frequencies that we just cannot comprehend with the apparatus that we have. So I guess what I'm trying to say in a roundabout way is, just because we can't see something doesn't mean it's there. But equally as much, you could say that just because you want something to be there, you've got to make sure that you don't try and place something there and make things fit. But I strongly believe that if you continue the way that you're going, and certainly in some of the directions that we've discussed tonight, I don't think it's purely physical. And I'm glad my face is not on camera when I say that, because I don't want to be put in with the woo, because that's not fully what I'm about. But so it isn't quite of the natural order here, and I can't put my finger on it. There's another member with us tonight who's very clearly felt the same thing, in that there's been a palpable change in energy at the point that we saw the lights. And I don't get freaked out. I don't get freaked out by stuff, and it's not a case of me seeing the light and going, oh my God, there's something here. Now I'm freaking out. God, I can feel that the energy's changed. It was almost a subtle thing, and that could have there could be a natural reason for that. There might not be a natural reason for it, but there could be, and we can't rule that out. But the point is, we don't know at this point in time. We don't know. There's more questions than there are answers.
Yeah.
And you know, we can field our own theories going forward, but you know, they are all our own theories, and they are all, with the utmost respect to everyone else involved with this, they are all fairly half-baked, because we don't have the full...
Nobody's close to unlocking the mystery to this. The deeper you dig on this, the more complicated it seems. You see something?
No, we've got a little mouse down to our right, but I keep hearing her.
Oh, mouse. All right. Yeah. Get those every now and then. But anyway, that's in a nutshell our resident skeptic, who hasn't experienced what me and my other colleague has. Otherwise, I think he might be drawing other conclusions by this stage.
Yeah, maybe. We'll see.
But yeah,
the world would be a boring place if we all thought the same thing at the same time, wouldn't it?
But you're here tonight, so that proves the point that there's enough of an appetite there to try and discover what's going on here.
I've got a well-formed bullshit meter, believe me, and I detect no bullshit here. I'm nothing but intrigued, and I've no answers for any of it really when it comes to
I've got no answers. Absolutely no answers at all. How this could be happening in the UK, in our forests, would point to it not being some sort of relic hominid. That's my only conclusion so far. Because they leave no traces apart from some of the physical stuff that they do, like the ground sticks, the tree arches. But there's these light anomalies going on here that we cannot explain, and it's two of them tonight were from the Goldilocks zone, and it wasn't cars, was it?
No, I'm pretty sure it wasn't car heads.
I mean, there are no cars that could penetrate that section of wood.
We've heard nobody walk past either with our own lugholes or with the parabolics. There's been nobody come through.
We'd never get anyone here at night. Never. So anyway, that's tonight. We'll just do a quick scan. So, alright, lights on. So it can't penetrate very far. I'm just hoping that there'll be a pair of eyes glowing back at us, but no. There is some moonlight tonight, so we can see quite far, can't we? But you've got to be careful about your eyes playing tricks with you in the shadows. Right, signing out for tonight. Yeah, the mystery continues.